Social justice definitely falls short because it cannot stay consistent. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is another declaration of truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. The so-called social justice warriors have succeeded only in dividing Americans between the sensible and the not so sensible. In fact, social justice does not have a reliable standard. In the past few weeks, we have seen individuals and companies learn that not enough people will even follow a social justice norm, and sometimes those that do cannot follow such a norm consistently themselves. I want to illustrate that with two examples, but first I do want to shout out to the prime sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views, link in the description. And be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of great merchandise there, especially this t-shirt that I have chosen for today, which reads, quotes Plato as saying, "No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth." One more thing, if you like what you're about to hear, you can like this video. You can also click the bell icon every time I come out with a new one. In fact, do you see the bell icon with the heart shape with the US dollar sign in it? That's the super thanks icon. If you really want to keep these videos coming, click that and leave me a tip. Any currency will do, so long as it's legal tender. And now, the first example will be the Bud Light story. Several weeks ago, the vice president in charge of marketing for Anheuser-Busch gave an endorsement contract to one Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney, a year ago, decided to self-identify as female rather than his biological gender, which is male. As far as anyone knows, he has taken estrogen treatments but has not opted for sexual reassignment surgery. And as part of his activities, he promoted Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch's brand of light lager beer. Very quickly after this campaign began, sales of Bud Light fell sharply. In fact, sales of nearly all Anheuser-Busch brands fell off. Merchandisers reported that stores could no longer sell these brands, although they sold virtually every other brand of beer from every other brewer. Newsweek suggested last week that a boycott of Bud Light would help rather than hinder the brand. Well, in fact, the controversy has hurt the brand. Bar owners are refusing to stock it, perhaps knowing that it won't sell. While that's happening, someone has already created an ultra-right brand to compete with it directly. At first, Anheuser-Busch executives brazenly boasted that the Bud Light brand was suffering anyway and that they needed to appeal to another customer base. Well, that didn't last long, because the company's stock fell sharply and the company lost $5 billion in market capitalization, and just possibly more. I've heard that it's lost as many as $6 or $7 billion. Finally, the chief executive officer broke his silence. I have a link in the description to this officer's statement. Here it is. Quote, "As the CEO of a company founded in America's heartland more than 165 years ago, I am responsible for ensuring every consumer feels proud of the beer we brew. We're honored to be part of the fabric of this country. Anheuser-Busch employs more than 18,000 people, and our independent distributors employ an additional 47,000 valued colleagues. We have thousands of partners, millions of fans, and a proud history supporting our communities, military, first responders, sports fans, and hardworking Americans everywhere. We never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people. We are in the business of bringing people together over a beer. My time serving this country taught me the importance of accountability and the values upon which America was founded: freedom, hard work, and respect for one another. As CEO of Anheuser-Busch, I am focused on building and protecting our remarkable history and heritage. I care deeply about this country, this company, our brands, and our partners. I spend much of my time traveling across America, listening to and learning from our customers, distributors, and others. Moving forward, I will continue to work tirelessly to bring great beers to consumers across our nation. Signed, Brandon Whitworth, CEO, Anheuser-Busch. Well, Twitter user War Clandestine did not appreciate this apology, if it really was an apology. Instead, he said, "This is a thank you, a corporate statement from Anheuser-Busch. This was a long-winded way to say nothing, beg people to buy their beer again, all without making any changes for their philosophy or their culture. This problem could be fixed in 30 minutes with competent leadership. If Anheuser-Busch were serious about saving their company, their statement would look something like this. Anheuser-Busch, I don't know how much y'all are paying Brendan Whitworth, but I'll save your company overnight for half of whatever you're paying him." And he proceeded to put down a brief statement that would be an actual apology. He talked about rogue elements in the marketing department and how certain things were going to be done away with. Now, of course, the company will likely not make that kind of apology. The problem for the company is that it thinks that once it started on the road to social justice, it must continue on that road. This holds even after the insiders realize that such a social justice campaign is a mistake. The other user said, quote, "No one at a senior level was aware that this was happening. Some low-level marketing staffer who helps manage the hundreds of influencer engagements they do, must have thought this was no big deal. Obviously it was, and it's a shame because they have a well-earned reputation for just being America's beer, not a political company. It was a mistake." But again, a higher-level executive chose to make it a big deal, but that executive then completely removed her social media presence. This led to vague speculation that the higher executive echelon had terminated her employment. Apparently, this did not happen. Now, I'm going to talk about the second story, but first, I want to shout out to a sponsor who can really help you through the economic storms to come. That sponsor is oursilverlines.com. Do you feel like you're working harder for your money just to get by? You are not alone. The fluctuating economy, employment issues, and unexpected changes in life have left many families struggling over the past few years. Collecting gold and silver can help shield you against many of these challenges. But if you're like me many years ago, you don't know where or how to start. Our Silver Lines helps by connecting you with thousands of members who are learning the secrets to creating and protecting true wealth by collecting precious metals. Whether you just want to collect rare and unique coins or take advantage of the business opportunities this company provides, either way, they can help you learn to live an exceptional life. Visit oursilverlines.com to learn how you can build a legacy for your future. Now, the second controversy involving social justice concerns the right of a woman to end her pregnancy. Now, this controversy flared up again after the suit over the popular abortifacient mifepristone. Now, you will recall that a Texas judge stayed the approval of this drug. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has since reinstated it, but only to status quo ante certain changes to its availability that the FDA made beginning in 2016. 2 days ago, Stephen King chose to play the social justice warrior by offering this time-honored aphorism. It's just so old. It says, "It has been said before, but it bears repeating, that if men could get pregnant, then voluntary termination of pregnancy would be a sacrament." Well, before trans women became a common meme, That aphorism might have stayed acceptable, but today it no longer is. Someone actually said, delete this, you transphobe. Imagine calling Stephen King a transphobe. Now, he's not that, but still, someone used that argument, this argument, and it reads, trans debate aside, this was always a bad argument. First, if men could get pregnant, it would mean that we call female persons men instead of women. We never abridged the liberties of male. We never abridged the liberties of male people? Really? If men were the ones killed in combat, war would be a crime. Oh, wait. Finally, someone asked how long they'd have to wait for him to apologize. Now, these two controversies have illustrated the problem with trying to stay with social justice. As you can see, you try to stay neutral, well, that doesn't always work. You'll offend either one or the other, no matter what you do. For that reason, the best thing is to stick with Christianity, not with social justice. Links in the description of the article, to the Anheuser-Busch statement, to the 2 tweets by War Clandestine in response to that statement, to Stephen King's tweet, to 4 more tweets in reply to his, to my Declarations of Truth Twitter account, and to Conservative News and Views. I've also left links to the awesome CNAV Store and our silverlines.com, as I also mentioned. You know already about how to like a video, turn on notifications, and leave a tip. On the end screen, I want to leave a subscribe link to my channel and links to 3 other videos in which other influencers showed how Anheuser-Busch lost its influence. This is Terry A. Hurlbut delivering another declaration of truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.